Hello, my friends, and welcome to English for Everyone. I'm Youssef, and I'm very happy that you are here today. In this series, we are going to explore the complete journey of learning English, from the very beginning to the most advanced level, step by step together, and I will guide you all the way. Speaking slowly and clearly so you can understand easily. You can also repeat after me. This method is called shadowing. You listen first and then repeat. It helps your pronunciation, confidence, and fluency. Many learners ask, how many levels are there in English and what do they mean? You may have heard O1, A2, B1, B2, C1 or C2, but it can feel confusing at first. These letters represent stages of learning, from beginner to advanced, and they show what a learner can do at each level. They are part of a system called the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. It helps learners see their progress clearly and step by step. The journey begins with A1, the beginner level, where learners start learning basic words and simple phrases. They learn how to introduce themselves, ask questions, and talk about everyday life. Then comes A2, the elementary level, where learners can understand short conversations, describe their routines, talk about family, work, or hobbies, and feel more comfortable using English. After that, learners move to intermediate levels, B1 and B2. Here, learners can communicate more naturally. They can explain ideas, give opinions, understand longer conversations and simple texts, and start feeling confident in real situations. Finally, advanced levels, C1 and C2, allow learners to understand complex topics, read advanced texts, express themselves clearly in many situations, and communicate almost like native speakers. Learning English is not a race. Every learner moves at their own pace. Some are faster, some slower, and that is normal. The important thing is to keep going. Every new word you learn, every sentence you understand, and every time you practice speaking, you are moving forward. Even small steps count, and even slow progress is still progress. So relax, take a deep breath, and imagine this journey like climbing a mountain. We start at the bottom and slowly move higher, step by step. The view becomes wider and your confidence grows. Now that we understand what English levels are, let's begin with the first real step in this journey, the A1 level. Become the first building blocks of the language, the beginner stage where simple words, so let's start together. At the A1 level, learners begin discovering English for the first time. They start learning very common words and simple expressions that people use in everyday life. They learn how to introduce themselves, how to talk about their family, their hobbies, and their daily routine. The sentences are usually short and simple, but they help learners build their first connection with the language. Now let's look at a small story. Listen carefully and try to understand the general meaning. Example text.
Hello, my name is David, and I am 20 years old. I live in a small city, and I live with my parents and my sister. Every morning I wake up at 7 o'clock. I drink coffee and eat bread for breakfast. After breakfast, I go to school by bus. My school is not very far from my house, and the trip takes about 15 minutes. At school, I study English, history, and science. English is my favorite subject because I like learning new words and listening to English music. Sometimes the class is difficult, but I try to practice every day. In the afternoon, I go back home and have lunch with my family. After lunch, I usually do my homework or watch a short video in English. In the evening, I like to play football with my friends in the park near my house. When the day is finished, I go home, eat dinner, and sometimes read a short book before going to bed. On the weekend, my routine is different. On Saturday, I often visit my grandparents and we drink tea together. On Sunday, I relax, listen to music, and prepare for the new week.
If you can understand most of this text, even if you do not understand every single word, that means your level is around A1. Learners at this level can understand simple descriptions about daily life, family, hobbies, and routines. They can recognize familiar words and follow a simple story when the sentences are clear and slow. To practice at this level, you can read short stories like this one, listen to simple podcasts, repeat sentences aloud, and write a few lines about your own day. You can say things like, I wake up at 7, I go to work, I like music, I play football. These simple sentences are the foundation of the language. Remember that learning begins with small steps. Every word you understand and every sentence you repeat is progress. With daily practice, your vocabulary grows and your confidence becomes stronger. And slowly, you will start understanding longer texts and conversations. And when this type of text becomes easy for you, when you can understand it without much effort and speak about similar topics, then you are ready to move forward to the next stage of the journey, the A2 level, where learners start using more sentences and understanding. At A2 level, learners can understand more words and longer sentences than at A1. They can describe experiences, talk about plans, explain simple ideas, and communicate in everyday situations. Sentences are still simple but more connected. Vocabulary grows and learners feel more comfortable understanding short texts and conversations. Let's read an example text at A2 level. Example text.
Hi, my name is Emma, and I live in Paris. I work in a small cafe, and I enjoy meeting new people. Every morning I wake up at 6:30. I take a shower and have breakfast with my roommate. I usually take the metro to work because it is fast and convenient. At the cafe, I serve coffee and cakes to customers. I like my job because I can practice speaking English with tourists. Sometimes it is busy and I feel tired, but I enjoy helping people and learning new words. After work, I often go to the park to walk my dog or meet friends for a coffee. In the evening, I like to watch short English videos or read simple stories. On weekends, I sometimes visit my family or go shopping with friends. I try to speak English every day, even for a few minutes, because I know it helps me improve step by step.
If you can understand most of this text, and you can repeat or summarize it in your own words, that means your level is around A2. At this stage, learners can follow simple descriptions, understand short stories about daily life, work, hobbies, and experiences, and express themselves using familiar sentences and vocabulary. It is important to practice listening, reading, speaking, and writing every day, even for a few minutes. To practice at A2 level, try reading short stories or dialogues, listen to beginner podcasts, repeat sentences aloud, write short paragraphs about your day or plans, and try to have simple conversations with friends or online. Even small daily actions, like thinking in English or labeling objects in your room with new words, help you improve naturally. The key is to continue practicing and enjoy every small step, because each word you learn and every sentence You understand brings you closer to the next stage. B1, the intermediate level, where English becomes even more flexible and natural in daily life. At B1 level, learners can understand the main points of clear, standard English on familiar topics like work, school, hobbies, and daily routines. They can deal with most situations while traveling and can produce simple, connected texts about experiences and interests. Sentences are longer than A2, grammar is more structured, and learners can use past, present, and future tenses comfortably. B1 example text.
Hello, my name is Liam. Last weekend I went to the countryside with friends. We stayed in a small house near a river. Every morning we walked, and in the afternoon we cooked meals together. In the evening, we watched a short English movie. I understood most words and could talk about the story with my friends. This made me feel more confident.
If you can understand this text, summarize it in your own words, and describe your own weekend using similar sentences. Your level is around B1. Learners at this stage can follow short stories, explain experiences, give simple opinions, and communicate independently in familiar situations. At B2 level, learners can understand main ideas of complex texts, interact fluently with native speakers, produce clear, detailed texts, and explain viewpoints on current topics. Sentences are longer, vocabulary is richer, and they start using idioms and connectors. B2 example text.
I started a new job in a marketing company. Every day I have meetings, discuss strategies, and write reports in English. Sometimes it is challenging, but I enjoy learning new terms. Outside work, I join an English book club and discuss novels with other learners. This helps me use English in different contexts and improves my speaking and listening. Now I can understand most news articles without translating in my head.
If you can understand this text and explain similar ideas about your work, studies, or hobbies, your level is around B2. Learners can handle complex situations, participate in discussions, and communicate with clarity. To practice, read longer texts, listen to podcasts, discuss topics, and write short essays. Small daily actions like thinking in English, repeating sentences, and speaking aloud help consolidate these skills. With practice from A1 to B2, learners notice steady improvement in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Each level builds on the previous, preparing you for advanced proficiency, where English becomes even more natural and flexible in daily life. As learners continue improving beyond B2, they reach the advanced stages of the language journey. At the C1 level, English becomes a powerful tool for communication in many situations. Learners can understand long and complex texts, follow detailed discussions, and express ideas fluently without searching too much for words. They can also organize their thoughts clearly when speaking or writing. C1 example text.
Last month, I attended an international seminar about education and technology. Many speakers shared ideas about how digital tools are changing the way students learn. Some presentations were quite detailed, but by focusing on the main ideas, I could follow most of the discussion. During the break, I spoke with several participants from different countries, and we exchanged opinions about the future of online learning.
If you can understand this type of text and discuss similar topics, your level may be around C1. Learners at this stage can participate in professional conversations, explain complex ideas, and express opinions clearly in discussions or presentations. At the highest stage, C2, learners reach near-native mastery of the language. They can understand almost everything they read or hear, even when the language is fast or abstract. They can summarize information from different sources and express themselves with precision and flexibility. C2 example text.
Recently, I read an article discussing the global impact of climate change. The text analyzed scientific data, economic consequences, and possible solutions. Although the vocabulary was advanced, I could follow. The argument and later summarize the main ideas for a discussion group. We compared different perspectives and debated possible actions for the future.
If you can comfortably understand and discuss texts like this, your level may be close to C2. Learners at this level can communicate naturally in academic, professional, and social environments. From A1 to C2, learning English is a gradual journey. Each level builds new skills and confidence. Small habits such as reading a short text, listening to a podcast, writing a few sentences, or speaking aloud every day make a big difference over time. Keep practicing, stay curious, and enjoy the process of learning. Every step forward brings you closer to using English with confidence in the real world. Thank you so much for watching and learning with me today. I truly appreciate your time and your support. I hope this lesson helped you understand the different English levels and discover where you are in your learning journey. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to follow the page and come back every day for new English content. Together we will continue improving, step by step, and make English a natural part of our daily lives. Now I have a question for you. What do you think your English level is right now? Is it A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, or C2? Write your answer in the comments and tell me why you chose that level. I read your comments and they really motivate me to create more lessons for you. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you in the next lesson.